Hi, this is Ronnie and welcome to my channel and Way Back When Wednesday. Yeah, when I started scrapbooking, it was to actually do family photos from way back when. And quickly, I wanted to do the everyday photos. And you seen how thin this paper was on this picture? It was like the first photo paper I ever bought. Well, it's the first time I had a printer and a scanner. I did have a copy machine at one time, but an inkjet one. So I took my printer to visit relatives and I would scan pictures. And I scanned this one and it was a very small picture and I was able to make it into this big one. And it's been on that paper ever since, waiting for me to scrapbook it. Yeah, like 15, 16 years, a long time. But I am scrapbooking it today. And it's my grandmother and my Aunt Goldie. And the paper I'm using, that one with the wood grain and the florals, Jennifer Rellis sent that to me for Christmas along with a whole bunch of other paper and stuff. And the other two papers that I'll be using, Jennifer Burnquist sent them to me, and it was with a whole bunch of close to my heart papers, and they go awesome together. So I am using them on this page. And those flowers there, I got them from HSN, and they're cardstock weight, they're not light ones, and they're Anna Griffin. No fussy cutting, well, unless I want to do fussy cutting, and I do cut a couple of them down smaller and cut parts off of some. But they come like this. There's no white on the outside or anything. And she has them for like 120 of them for like $21, $22, something like that. And I bought them for cards. But when I got ready to do this layout, I thought, well, it'd be nice to have some flowers on here and layer them. And I was trying to think of what paper I could pull out and fussy cut some flowers. And then it hit me. I had these in my card tote with all the stuff for my cards, and so I went and robbed the card tote. And yes, I will be using them on this layout. I am taking the striped paper, and the colors in it really match the darker shades in that wood grain paper. It's like got a kind of a bluish color and browns and I don't know what all, but they match really good with those. So I thought I'm going to use them and make some banners to put my photo on, and I'm going to put my photo all the way to the right of the wood grain paper. Since my aunt looks like she's kind of sticking her head around the corner, that she almost did not get in there. I believe it was a photo booth picture, but not the normal photo booth picture. It's actually in a photography studio, and a lot of times they would get their picture taken sitting on this bench or standing up, or in this case, it would be a close-up. The others were not close-ups. It'd be a close-up, and they would do it similar to a photo booth. That photography studio was still around when my kids were small, and I did not think to take my kids there. My brother took my niece there, and the only reason I know he took my niece there, he had to compare a picture of me and my niece taken in the same pose, I guess you call it, when we were about 2 years old and how much we looked alike. So generations of our family went to the same photography studio, and I don't think it was very expensive. Here I'm looking at some pink paisley, and it's rub-on, and this was a huge mistake. You see that flower? I thought, oh, that'd be cute to put in that big open space on this photo. And I started putting it straight down there, and then I thought, no, I'm going to do some testing first, make sure it rubs on good. So I decided to cut one of the butterflies out and put it on this white cardstock and see how it looks. Well, it turns out great. However, when I go to do that big pink flower on the photo, it does not. Like I said, that was really thin. I mean, thin photo paper. It was called everyday paper, and that one time's the only time I bought it. But unfortunately, I had 50 sheets of that. So I still have more in my stash, and most of them they're old black and white photos. But see me rub it on there when I go to pick it up. At first I think putting it back down will work. No, it does not, because it hits me. It had taken the picture up, and those are white spots showing, And I might as well pull it up because it's not going to do any better because it's pulled the photo up and I didn't think it was going to go ahead and stick. So I am going to cover that up. I am going to put flowers there, and of course it's not exactly perfect, so I'm going to take and cut some green leaves to go underneath them, and I'm going to put them straight on the photo, but the flower cluster you see there right now, I'm going to put it on foam tape to give it a little bit of dimension. And the blue flowers that I'm cutting the greenery off of, they're not going to go on the page. When I took them out of the tote that I had the card stuff in, I thought, well, there were shades of blue on here, but they're not even close to being the same shade of blue. I brought them over, well, I started to say for nothing, but no, because I did cut some greenery off of there. They weren't quite for nothing. And this is old paper, distress ink, and I'm going to put it all over these flowers to kind of tone them down a little bit because the ones in the background on the wood grain is toned down and they looked a little bit bright to go with it. And once I put this distress ink on there, I think they look just about right. Well, maybe more than just about because I think they look pretty good. And you noticed I used my biggest brush. I wanted to cover more ground quicker. So yeah, that makeup brush worked the best on here. I'm just using my ATG and putting it on the back of those leaves because I wanted to make sure I get them in the right place. I wanted to cover all my disaster that is underneath there. And it does a pretty good job. You can't hardly, I mean, if you're looking really close, you might be able to see it back there, but mostly it covers it. And the reason I'm using the yellow, there is no yellow in the background paper, is because my grandma loved yellow roses, and I thought, I got to use some yellow on here. She would love this page. I scrapbooked my other grandma last month, and I thought, I need to scrap Grandma Lucy also. So, yeah, I'm scrapping her. She was the one that would get me in trouble. She was quite the character. And my Aunt Goldie, oh my goodness. I loved going to her house to eat. That woman could cook. Of course, now that I've gotten grown, I realized she was a good cook. But she also had a wood stove, and that's why everything tasted, like hickory smoke. I mean, it tasted so good every time we would eat there. And it was just plain Jane, old-fashioned country food. Comfort food, that's what it was. And, oh, I loved it. And they even had the hand pump outside. I know when she was thrilled to finally get some water on the inside, it was still a hand pump, but it was on the inside. They always lived so far out in the country, it was unreal. She was 55 years old before she ever got an indoor toilet, and oh, she was in love. I pulled that sticker sheet out. I am not sure who it's by because it was not even in packaging. But I am going to use a couple of stickers on there. Well, I know one, maybe two. And I'm putting that old paper distress ink on that journaling tag. And I am going to do some journaling, just a tiny bit. But it's not going to be there. It's going to be over to the left of the photo instead. I got me a doily so I could go ahead and put that on there, roses and old lace, and there is some kind of saying that they go good together. And so yeah, I'm going to add a doily to this, and I'm trying to decide how much I'm going to be using of that doily up on the left, and I decided to go for using the whole thing. I am going to cut the smaller one down a little bit and then regret it. Yeah, as soon as I cut it down, practically I tucked it up under there, and yeah, it fits perfect. And then when I pull it out and tuck it up underneath the other banner, I like that better. So yeah, I wished I hadn't cut quite as much off because it could have hung a little bit lower if I hadn't have done that. And as cheap as they are, I guess I could have pulled another one out, but I guess I was being frugal. I don't know. This one here on the left, like I said, I'm going to leave the whole thing there because I am going to put my journaling over there and another flower or two also. My journaling tag is going to go there with it on the big one, But I decided to go ahead and work on the little cluster down here in the bottom right-hand corner first. That film strip, it's Tim Holtz film strip. Huh, I just love that, especially on vintage layouts, pictures that are older, because it looks old. And of course, that was back when it wasn't the digital age. It was film strip. So yeah, I like using it on there. I am going to staple it on. The first one you can see pretty good, but I kind of put the other one pretty close to the line so you cannot see it as good. And I think I end up putting flowers over the top of it anyway. And if you look real close, you will see there is a sticker on top of that film strip. Yeah, I forgot to turn my camera back on for a second or two there. And so I did put a sticker on there. I didn't do anything else. All I did was put the sticker on there and it hit me and I turned the camera on. But it says Generations of Love. And it came off that sticker sheet there that I do not know what brand it is or anything. But it is like heritage kind of things that's on there. In fact, you can see the word heritage right there. But I'm going to fuss with these flowers for a few minutes because, you know, you got to have them just right. And that's what I'm working on. And I looked at that yellow and decided it needed more of the old paper distressed ink on there. That's still a little bit too bright of a yellow. And so, yeah, I did put a little bit more on there. On my flowers, I am putting adhesive down there so that part of it will be right against the paper, and then I'm putting dimensional foam tape so part of it will stick up, and I end up doing that on both of them. And yeah, that way it and see, I didn't do that to start with. I had to catch it afterwards. I think I just thought it'd lay there all by itself. I don't know. I'm pulling out these rub-ons again, and I'm going to end up cutting out the other two butterflies. I've used one already, but I'm going to have 3 clusters, and there is 3 butterflies on there, and I thought I'd put one in each one of the clusters. Pink paisleys rub-ons usually work pretty good. I know I've had these a while, so yeah, they work pretty good. That one up there that's a disaster was my fault, not pink paisleys. I am going to put ATG on one wing, and then I'm going to put dimensional tape on the other so that one's up higher than the other, and it kind of looks like it's flying. And now I'm going to work on my last cluster, so I am getting almost done. I did cut off that banner that was on my journaling tag earlier because it just did not go with my layout. But I am going to put a rub-on on there. There's one with a key, and it says where the heart is. And I think it goes a whole lot better than the banner that was on there earlier. And it's gold. And I am going to end up using some gold Heidi Swap. So yeah, it'll go with it. And it comes off just fine. And I'm going to put, it's just like one little pink and yellow rose down there at the bottom of that. And that's the butterfly I'm going to end up putting with it. And besides the Heidi Swap, I'm going to be done with my layout. I considered putting something up in the top left, and I even put a flower up there and looked at it, but I thought, that is just so pretty. I want to leave it the way it is. And so that's what I'm going to end up doing, is leaving that wood grain with the flowers on it, just like it is. But I did hit the 1,000 mark on subbies. Thank you all so very, very much. I am going to have a giveaway. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to have yet, but I'm figuring it will probably be a gift card. That way this international people can join in too. Let's see, I'll get back to my layout here. Here I'm putting that old paper distress ink on there, and I'm going to tuck part of this under and part of it over the top of my picture. I just like the way it nestles in up against the picture that way. And I'm also going to put some foam tape on the outside parts of it so that it will stick up and have different dimension to it. And I think that's, oh, besides my butterfly, yeah, I am, see, there's where I tried it and laid that one rose there. And looking at it now, it looks all right. But it was pretty quick, wasn't it? But look at when I laid it there. It was all right. But I do like the wood grain by itself. So yeah, I'm going to leave it. I have 3 clusters. I have the triangle. And yeah, sometimes I like 4 though. But there's my other butterfly here. I'm even trying putting it upside down because, you know, butterflies aren't like birds. They kind of all fly together in the same direction. But if you ever notice, butterflies are here, there, and everywhere. And so I kind of thought about putting it down, but I didn't. And yeah, I'm going to put the Heidi Swap Color Shine Gold, of course, on here. And then I will be done with my layout. And I don't mind getting some on my picture. That don't bother me as long as I don't get it on their faces. I don't care for it on their faces. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout for Way Back When Wednesday. I want to try to do, that's my goal for 2020 is to get some of these older photographs done and in my albums. But if you leave a comment below, I'll be sure to get back with you. If you like the video and hit the thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. There is going to be a drawing. Anyway, thank you all so very much for watching. For all the lovely comments that you leave, I really enjoy reading them and responding to them too. I totally love the interaction that the comment section on YouTube provides. I tried to get those 2 words together there. But yeah, this is my layout, and I hope you all have a happy, scrappy week. Bye.